Think about this. Usually, the President of the United States doesn't generally weigh in on state Senate races, stays out of that. But that is the case today in Indiana. These are the new times, and they sometimes look like presidential payback. Think about this. President Trump wants to oust Republican state senators who voted against a redistricting plan to favor the GOP last year. He said he would. Now he is. And the nationwide redistricting war rages on. We're talking about this. Yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court allowed last week's landmark decision striking down Louisiana's congressional map. That takes effect immediately. Now, at the same time, you see Florida Governor Ron DeSantis there. He signed into law a new congressional map that could help flip seats from Democrats to Republicans in his state. Tennessee and Alabama also moving to redraw their congressional maps after that Supreme Court ruling, and it narrowed the Voting Rights Act quite a bit. Team coverage now. CBS News reporter Shawna Mizelle is at Alabama's State House in Montgomery. But let's start with CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdes. She is in Nashville outside of Tennessee's Capitol building. So, Nicole, what are you watching for there in that special session?
We will, of course, a lot of talk about the potential redistricting in the state of Tennessee, but you got to notice the people here behind me chanting, "Whose house? Our house." These are hundreds of people that have come from all across the state of Tennessee to protest this special session, one they say they were given just days notice of to redraw the congressional maps here in Tennessee and essentially break up Tennessee's 9th congressional district. That includes the city of Memphis. It's the only Democratic district left in the state of Tennessee, and it is a majority minority district. So a lot of people here are certainly vocal against this. They are calling this an unconstitutional move, but they're expecting to see lawmakers file into the House, or rather the Tennessee Capitol here in just a few moments to start that hearing to really discuss the rules of this session and once again decide whether they will redraw this district. There's a chance that the district that currently sits could be divided up into 3. Now, one of the main concerns here is what impact this will have on the upcoming midterm elections, recognizing that those candidates who have already qualified and that qualification deadline has long passed will now have to requalify, and their campaigns will now have to extend to a much different group of people if this makes its way. Now, I just spoke to several Democratic leaders who are out at this protest today, including Representative Justin Pearson here in Nashville. He believes not only that this is constitutional, that several Democrats and state leaders will look to file legal challenges to this map if it is moved forward. But he says, look, I don't think that they would have called this special session if they didn't have the votes. Again, Governor Lee said for this to happen just last week after Marsha Blackburn certainly shared the map that she believes should move forward here in Tennessee. President Trump has definitely shown his support for such a map that would give Republicans a 9-0 leg up here in the state of Tennessee, an additional Republican seat in Congress. So certainly a lot of outspoken people outside the Capitol today, and we'll see how the conversation goes once session starts later today, Reed.
All right, the issue and the people making their voices heard. Nicole Valdes, thank you. So let's continue on this. CBS News reporter Shawna Mizelle, she joins us now from Alabama. Similar session kicked off yesterday. So what did we hear from state lawmakers there in Montgomery?
Hey, Reed. Well, state lawmakers here just wrapped up a rally where they really expressed their disappointment, their anger, and their disdain. At some points, there were even some profanities lobbed. They are very upset about this effort from the Alabama governor and Republicans here to bring back some old congressional maps that were previously struck down. They say that this is going to be voter disenfranchisement, and not any voters, but specifically black voters here in the state of Alabama, which makes up about 20% of voters here. They say that they deserve and earned 2 seats to represent those voters in Congress. I actually just wrapped up an interview with Congresswoman Terry Sewell, and she said she does not have any faith in the man-made system here, but she is keeping her faith in God. She's expressing a little bit of optimism and calling on constituents here to call their state legislators and express this disdain because this special session has a few more days to go. It actually ends on Friday.
All right, we know you're all over it. Shawna Mizelle, thank you so much for that update. We appreciate it.